Were the real writers of Wonder Woman please stand up? Batman from a criminal's perspective and Kid Flash in the house.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies. And now, here's Popcorn Talk's DC Movie News.
In the great hall of the Justice League, there are assembled the world's 4 greatest heroes.
Oh, that got right in my eardrums.
I was ready for the ending that time.
I barely heard it.
Really?
Yeah.
You should be in these ears, because damn.
Are you losing the hearing?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Well, guess what, everybody? This is DC Movie News on the Popcorn Talk. And also, guess what? The OG squad is back for the first time.
It's been a while, hasn't it?
OG.
It's been a long time. We shouldn't have left you
OG.
without some dope news. It's step 2.
Step
what up,
two,
though?
step two.
Step 2.
And there go all of our viewers.
I got it.
Nah, viewers ain't leaving. Roxy's on the show. They're staying.
That's right.
Welcome, everybody. Let's get right down to it. We are at DC Movies SK on the Twitter. We're Facebook.com/DC Movies SK. You can find me on Twitter at JQuasto. That gentleman right there is the host of Man vs. Child on FX. I'm sorry, no, on FYI and FX Movie Download on FX.
Yes, I'm on so many different networks, you can't even keep track of all of the networks.
So much cable.
Yes.
And also, you can find him next week at Comic-Con, taking part in the Sausage Fest film.
Oh yeah, we're doing a little timeless sausage party. So
There you
go
go.
to Doghouse, get your naughty dog, and maybe we'll see you at sausage party too.
I can't believe how perfect that is for you, that you get to combine sausages and Comic-Con.
The world is now mine!
Have you seen Secret Life of Pets?
No.
Because there is a sausage you should have been a part of thing in that sequence in that movie, like they go to a sausage factory.
Oh my
and it's like this
God.
whole sausage sequence, and that's all I can think about is the Horse-Master.
Sausage
Wow.
sequence.
That's all I can
You
think
still
of.
talking about a kids movie?
Yeah. it was.
All right, find him on Twitter at Adam Gertler, because he's Adam Gertler.
Sausage Party is not a kid's movie, but I just want to say
No.
that. Disclaim that.
Some sensuality.
There's a lot of sensuality
A lot
in
of
this movie.
sensuality.
Thank you, Bert.
Next to Adam Gertler, she is the crown jewel of the DC Movie News Show, and she's back. And yesterday was her birthday, and she's the host of TV Fights on Screen Junkies. She's on Twitter at Roxy Striar, because that's her name. She's Roxy Striar.
Hey.
Hey, girl.
Are you legal now?
Oh, like 18?
What?
Yeah, just hit it.
Roxy's legal!
Yeah.
Can you can now rent a car, can't you?
Oh, wow.
Right?
Lucky me. Actually, my car broke down 3 times this year, so maybe that will come in handy.
See?
Yeah, I can.
That's amazing. What did you do for your birthday?
Yo. I worked, and then I ate some sushi
With Bay.
with Bay, sushi with Bay, and
Just 'cause I
a lot
like you, I
of
let
a lot
you
of
use it.
whiskey. Yeah, because you hate the word.
I hate the word, but because I like you, I'll let you use it.
Yep.
Am I the only
Hate
millennial that
the
you like?
word. No, I have some friends that are millennials that I like.
But he still hates it.
Yeah,
But I still hate 'em.
I'm happy to be back, though. I love when we do this show and we have all 4 of us.
It's rare nowadays.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
if 2 of us suck, then maybe 2 of us will be good.
Yeah.
You know, and if 1 of us is good, then 3 of us suck.
And one person could be great, too.
3 people could be good, and then 1 person could just be okay.
And if one of us is hungover and then the other 2 are
Hey,
still
now we're
drunk.
still going on that one?
I hope you're hungover. It's your
I was
birthday.
pointing at myself.
Oh, I thought you pointed at me one day.
Well, sporting an amazing 5 o'clock shadow, he's an incredible
Oh,
actor
that's
and DC Encyclopedia and the host of Character Corner right here on the Popcorn Talk. Find him on Twitter at Mike Kalinowski, because that's who he is. He's Mike Kalinowski.
What's up, fellas?
Hey.
Yeah, I was looking in the feed though, with this going on, and I look like I look a little disheveled. And I'm not.
Nah, you don't look
rocking it.
disheveled at all. You look like you were fighting crime.
I look a little. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, you look like you were fighting crime, and
Yeah.
now you're just kind of chilling.
All right.
Nothing wrong with
I'll
that.
go with that.
What do you say we get right into it, guys?
Let's get down to brass tacks.
How about this? So, a little bit of a swerve, if you will.
Swerve.
Wonder Woman didn't have the writer that we thought it did.
Yeah,
It was kind of weird how they never officially announced him, and Fuchs kind of played coy about it, right?
Don't you know him, Johnny?
No,
Wasn't
well,
he talking
I mean,
about this at some
we're-
point?
Not anymore.
We hung out once. Like, we're Facebook friends, and he said he would come on the show sometime.
I
Now,
think what's
on
going
for
on
it.
here. I think this is a writers' union thing because, from what I understand, my friends that are writers in this union, it is one of the worst unions to be a part of as far as getting credit for your material, who works on what, who gets paid what. So I think
SAG in general sucks.
I think this is we had to wait till the Writers Guild had to finalize who gets the final credit on the film.
Right.
So you think that he did have a big hand in it? He's just not getting the credit.
Could be, yeah.
But what if it's
He probably got paid. I'm sure he got paid.
What if there were multiple versions of the script going around and they just didn't use his?
What I've heard is that because a lot of times we see a script, even with like Batman v Superman, Goyer is still credited as a screenwriter. If they used a significant part of his dialogue, he would have to be credited as a screenwriter. Now
he's not a nobody.
But that's exactly what the Writers Guild looks at. They go, okay, we have the finished film. Here's the script.
Right.
What of your work is in the film?
Now, do you guys remember what was the other DC property that Fuchs was rumored to be a part of? Was it the Booster Gold
Lobo.
thing?
Lobo.
Was it Lobo?
Oh.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if that's still a rumor, or if he's still in good graces, or if they just didn't go with his version. And when did Geoff Johns really get on board?
And also, remember, we initially talked about this right after Pan came out, that he was already scheduled to be writing this, but Pan totally bombed, and we were surprised to see that DC wasn't trying to bail on him. So maybe they just didn't want to add insult to injury at the time, and they kicked him off way
What was the
earlier.
reason behind it not doing well? I didn't see
Pan?
it. Yeah.
It looked terrible.
It looked-
That's
It
why.
didn't do well because it
Terrible.
wasn't good.
That was with Jackman, right?
What? And I didn't know what Hugh Jackman was doing. From those trailers, I was just like, oh my god.
Well, the official stats are: it was written by Allan Heinberg and Geoff Johns, story by Zack Snyder and Allan Heinberg. That's what it says.
What I love about Heinberg is he writes Grey's Anatomy and Scandal, too. So that shows that he's got great character work with female
Bring
characters.
Shonda in.
It's female characters. That's what those shows are.
Yeah.
So to see that he can write that
Two
so
of my
well,
favorite shows.
So I think that bodes extremely well.
Are you
Geoff
bringing up
Johns.
TV time early?
No, I'm just
a lot-
I'm
a lot-
segueing
lot
into
going on today.
this writer. To people might not know Heinberg. He's from the comics as well. I think he writes comics, but he writes those TV shows that are so female heavy and great female leads. So that's great. That
So
and then you've got Geoff Johns, who knows the DC universe. So those two hands together.
Peter Parker 9 in the chat says Jason Fuchs posted a picture of himself writing a Lobo script. YouTube writes Geoff Johns was always visiting the Wonder Woman set in London. So I don't know. I don't. Do you think we'll ever know for sure what went on here?
It could have been a deal where they decided to go this route and then maybe said to Fuchs, hey, but how about you work on this instead? Maybe
He's
it's
still
like-
getting paid. He still made his money when he did his.
I don't
Even
think
if
that's
you-
what he's happy about, though.
No, you want your name on the credit because
Yeah.
it does well. I wrote this movie. Yeah, and that's exactly where the writers
as-
guild
Especially
comes
after
in.
you just had a bomb.
But as fans, though, what is the fan reaction to see? We already heard Geoff Johns being announced in his new role as this overseeing producer in that co-role, but we also know him as a creator, as opposed to Kevin Feige, who is this great shepherd and godfather and sort of the editor-in-chief of Marvel Studios. Geoff Johns, he's a guy that is still writing the stuff, so that's gonna make fans really happy just to see that writing credit. I know I had a little geek piddle that happened.
Well, people are always like, why don't they get Bruce Timm and these guys to write? Well, now we've got one of the best writers in DC Universe, the comics, writing our films.
And we know he's intrinsically involved in the through line that's going to carry through all the films.
Right.
Yeah.
And so this is good.
I think it's great.
Yeah, I mean, I think if Geoff Johns is involved, I think that's going to make everyone
So do you think
excited.
they're going to show a lot of what do you think we're going to get at Wonder Woman? Is it going to be like the trailer, like basically the BVS trailer we got last year at Comic-Con? Is that what we're getting of Wonder Woman this year? Like that kind of full meaty trailer?
It's still what? It's next May is Wonder Woman?
No, I think it's March-ish, isn't it?
No, not March. It's not March. It's
Is it-
June.
does it move
June.
past?
It's June. We talked about it because it was
Right,
like
right,
there's
right.
a
June 2nd.
Transformer.
June
so
2nd,
we're
2000.
still
It's gonna be
almost a
really
year
early.
away. But I think we will get a full trailer.
You think? I was thinking 30-second teaser.
We got the tease with that DC drop thing on CW. That was the tease.
They did the Suicide Squad tease last
we'll
year.
Get, I think
But that was longer than 30
we'll
seconds.
get the
wasn't
cast.
it?
We'll get the cast there. I think.
and I hope
yeah,
that
no,
when
Because
Cast
this is their last
Cast
shot.
is-
This is their last shot.
They announced
before
today.
Comic-Con.
They already
DC
announced who's going.
Yeah.
We got Gal Gadot, Chris Pine, Connie Nielsen, Patty Jenkins. They're going to be there.
So I think they will.
I
I think we got a trailer coming.
I don't think we get more than a 30-second teaser.
I think it's going to be a trailer. That's my vote.
All right. You're outvoted.
If it
Roxy,
is-
where are you
if
feeling on
I
this?
think it will probably be along the lines of Squad, and it will be a teaser. But I think we could have essentially called it a trailer, like we could have for the first Squad one, which I think was like a minute.
I'm
or
saying
something.
I'm saying 30 seconds tops.
Okay, great.
I think
We've
they have
heard
more
the
in the
bets.
can than that.
I'm in the minority.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
I
more
also
than
don't know
can.
if I'll be a Comic-Con, so either way,
That's
I'm
right.
a loser. It doesn't matter.
I definitely don't think we're going to be making it to Hall H this year, but
It's such. If I have a hookup to get in, I will go. But I do not think I will be spending my night Friday.
it was a
night
great
getting
hookup
in
last
line.
year. I had the hookup of a lifetime. Our great fan that
Yeah,
got me
you
in
did.
there, but like I can never replicate that experience.
That was me 2 years ago. We had friends that we got out of line, we gave up. Next morning they said, hey, go to this door, say this word, they'll know you're there. And we got
Bananarama.
Oh, wow. You actually had like a code
it
password
was a
style?
secret word. He said, go to this door, knock,
Abracadabra.
say this word, and you will get in.
That's
we went,
wild.
we knocked, and they said, yes, can we help you? Security. I was like, blah, 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 blah. And like, come right this way. Your seat's reserved. And we got in. And
Wild.
It will never happen again. That was my first Comic-Con. It will
Was
never
it a
happen
guy
again.
in like a black trench coat?
It
that
will
walked up?
never
Hey,
happen
kid,
again,
walk up
and
to the
I'm
door.
okay with that. But what I love
Says
last
it's
year,
rude.
Hall H, everything that came on they were showing came online instantly, and that's the big debate. What's going on right now?
But remember how Warner Brothers really crapped the bed with how they put out that Suicide Squad trailer? It was the worst marketing thing,
But-
and I hope their public
With what,
relations
the
is operating.
Portuguese
Right, but the
subtitle
BBS
thing?
they were smart. They released the trailer, and then instantly it was online.
Right,
That was smart.
But like the whole, like when they were like, well, we wanted this to be special for the people. It was just like their whole attitude. Hopefully they've got the vibe right now with knowing how to interact with the public.
Yeah.
Is
Hopefully.
key. I know
Well,
we're
it
going to
sounds
talk
like
about
they
it in a
do.
minute, but so in addition, what else is DC going to be showing in that Hall H panel?
Squad.
Yep, a lot of Suicide, like pretty much
So,
the entire
Suicide
squad.
Squad, and probably a screening happening over the weekend. I would
We hear
imagine.
this. Someone said that there's a battleship that they're going to do a screening on a battleship. And if you know, if
God.
you've been to Comic-Con, it's in the harbor, and they have battleships out there. So
Right.
there's maybe a special invite-only screening. Belle Reeve will be there, the prison set. They're going to have the Heroes Monument with Superman, the statue will be out in the plaza.
That's so cool.
Batmobile will be there.
Yeah.
Do you guys know?
Lego movie Batman.
And what about Justice League?
Well, this is the thing. Affleck is saying he's going to be there.
Yeah.
This is what we don't know. People are saying, because it wasn't listed as Justice League is being presented, because they're filming, but Affleck has said he'll be there.
Almost done
I
filming.
think,
Affleck, who's also in Squad.
right. I think it's going to be, because he might be there for the squad.
Here's the thing. Last month, Ben Affleck said he would be there, and now there's absolutely nothing with Justice League. So if there is, I think they're going to try and pull off a surprise.
People think the surprise. I don't think it's a surprise. I don't think we're getting Justice League. I think they know. Hopefully they'll have learned their lesson from the past, where Marvel dominates Hall H when they know showmanship. DC doesn't have that showmanship yet.
I think this year they will, and I think you're going to get that tease where you're going to see Justice League footage for the first time at Comic-Con.
Over a year and a half away, you think so?
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
I will counter that, and I say we'll get a picture of the cast.
Well, I mean, think about how it was like more than 2 years when
A
you got like
picture?
Batman
Picture of the
with the bat signal.
That was 2 years ago, yeah.
Right, so-
but then that was when the movie was only going to be a year away.
What do you mean of them filming, or you mean of just a picture
I
of the
think,
cast?
like, when
the
they
actors?
did Batman with the Batmobile.
Because they all already showed scenes to people that did that set visit
Right,
that long ago.
yeah.
I know they have stuff, and the fact that they're saying like don't expect it, it's the only surprise they could have.
Well, remember that
So-
scene that we got at Comic-Con 2 years ago with Superman in the bat symbol being lit up with his eyes? That was never in the film, and that was never shown ever since.
Was it
When
really?
he turns the light on.
But he whips the thing off.
But then when you see Superman, it's all black sky, and then
Yeah.
the bat symbol lit him up, and he was standing there with the.
Yeah.
That was never released, and that's not in the movie.
There's a lot of different stuff going on in the chat right now. You guys are being amazing. Broadcasting Book says Justice League cast will show up at the end, I bet. Zeno Hour, I think they'll show some Justice League footage. Lewis Cox, I think DC's going to do a low-key thing with Batman, maybe. Peter Parker, they're keeping JL a
If Ben
surprise
Affleck
reveal.
comes in that suit, I won't not be a part of that. If he shows up like Loki, I think we met with the Loki thing. where,
yeah.
No, I don't think he's going to do that.
God,
I don't think it'll
no.
happen, and I don't know if the cast will show up either. I think it would be more
They're
powerful.
so in filming right now, but
I think it'd be more powerful to show like a little tease at the end of it. I think that's the way
Yeah.
to do it. To
'Cause I mean-
focus on Suicide Squad, focus
Yeah,
on
'cause
Wonder Woman,
that's
and
the
then
thing you
we're
gotta
almost
realize.
gone. Lights die again, and then just something
now
something
you think that's what
poignant.
that's a Marvel thing to do.
Yeah.
DC would be smart to do something like that, but in past years, they've kind of fumbled the ball with their reveals and stuff. They
I know
don't
that's
have
why
that
I
showmanship.
keep the optimism in me
Okay,
wants to say
and I
that
like
they're
to see
getting
that in
better.
you.
in
I like to see that in
optimism.
you.
I'm trying to be
Well, the
optimistic.
release date's not until November 17, 2017. So, I mean,
so we
that's
got-
a long way.
And they've got next year's Comic-Con to dominate. Justice
Right, because next year for Comic Con, what are they going to be doing? So you might want to
It's going
save
to be
it.
Yeah.
full trailers and stuff. Tease.
Yeah.
Tease.
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 You think they're going to...
And they're already going to start promoting their
do.
2018 things next year,
And this
too.
one, if they don't do it, they
Aquaman.
don't do it. But I think they will do
Yeah,
it.
they've got two great films that they've got to push. So.
Also going to be at Comic Con, we got Chris McKay and Will Arnett from Lego Batman, and that's
Lego.
a pretty full squad. So let's talk David Ayer.
Okay.
he had a lot to say this week about Batman when it comes to Suicide Squad. So his quote is actually really interesting. He said, if you look at what Bruce Wayne has done in creating the Batman persona, his idea was to terrorize criminals. It's sort of a psychological warfare against them. He's freaking scary. He says what we're going to see in Suicide Squad is Batman from the criminal's perspective about how scary he is to them.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
It again lends to the Assault on Arkham
And
theory.
Right. And
like
what was the
movie.
animated series? I was tweeting you about this. The animated series episode where it's all the criminals talking about their encounters with Batman.
Almost got him.
Okay, that is, we're
Almost
talking
got
about
him.
it now. It's like over 20-something years old. One of the greatest Batman stories ever. So even just using that as an inspiration, as a point of view to see how they see him, I think it's cool that we're not going to get Batman's point of view.
No.
I don't think we're going to get like that meeting with Dick Grayson. I think it's all going to be, none of the focus is going to be on Batman from his POV.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It's not a part of the story.
What
Which is
was
cool.
that about?
Because we talked about Grayson. I don't think you guys talked about last week.
They
but Scott
finally
Eastwood.
announced who Scout Eastwood is.
Just a Navy
But-
SEAL member.
GQ Edwards, they
Mm-hmm.
call him. But someone else said
Your theory?
they don't think no one has guessed who he is yet, and someone made a really good point, and I don't think it is, but it'd be very cool. Oliver Queen.
I mean, that would be
Oliver Queen.
great.
People
But-
talked about that
but-
early
And
on.
this I did not know. Justin Marks, who wrote Supermax, Green Arrow's escape from prison movie from years ago, he was the original draft of Suicide Squad.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he wrote the original Suicide Squad
so you
draft.
think maybe
Maybe there's
as an
some
homage?
leftover Green Arrow
Because you
in
said
there.
there was a Q in there in his name. It's like Q's.
GQ Edwards, but I think
Right.
it's just because GQ, handsome guy.
Right.
But I think
okay.
it's so wasted if you cast an actor like that in a generic Marine role. It just is wasted. And he signed for
they're trying
3
to bring
films.
something
He
new.
signed for 3 films. But I think we should take down our optimism. I think he's just going to be a
Yes.
straight military guy.
Hmm.
I think that's what's going to happen with him. Okay. But Green Arrow, someone said Green Arrow, and I was just like, because Dick Grayson, that was I wanted to believe that he makes him a little old to be with Ben Affleck. I mean, granted, Scott Eastwood's only like 20, 28, but
it's a perfect age.
yeah, it's 20 years, but Eastwood looks mature.
I know,
you
but it's a perfect age for Nightwing age, which would
But
make
to
so much
see him
more
as Green Arrow, I'm just like,
Yeah.
he does make a good Green Arrow too.
I don't think he is.
I don't think he's anything.
And Adam, you
but-
can speak to this. There was a Suicide Squad set visit that
Yes.
was released
Oh.
this week. A whole bunch of information, and the most important one, I guess you could say, Scott Eastwood's supposed to be just a Navy SEAL, but you have been advertising that you've got something.
Oh yeah. So I don't know if we want to put up a spoilers thing. I'm not going to spoil anything about the movie right now.
I'm excited now. I'm excited.
But
Spoiler alert!
I have
alert.
I've got some information, guys.
Oh, boy.
So if you'll remember before BVS, I told you I had a affiliation with someone who had seen an early
Yes.
screening of it, and I was a little bummed because they did not like the movie. And granted, they had seen it they had seen it in black and white, but this was the first person that I had spoken to because they work on the film. So
Yeah.
this is I got to be really vague because I don't want to get this person in trouble.
No, of course not.
But he saw the film and he was very excited to tell me that it was really, really good.
So he resaw it.
No, Suicide Squad. I'm just saying
Suicide
it's the
Squad.
same source. So if anybody's like, I don't believe you or anything
yeah.
like that, if you
Got
don't
it.
believe me, that's fine. That's your prerogative. I'm not trying to prove anything.
Got it.
But basically, to not spoil anything, and he didn't want to spoil anything for me, but I
Right.
asked questions. Very positive things about Amanda Waller, that you're going to hate her in a good way.
I mean,
How much of the movie do we think she's going to be in?
she's an amazing actress. I think we're going to see plenty. of her.
Margot Robbie
Yeah.
kills it.
Does she?
Just to echo what people have been saying, like,
Yeah.
and give her own movie. Like, apparently, when she and Joker are on the screen, like, it is like next level, incredible stuff. The worst thing that he said about the film is like, some of the characters maybe just could have been used more.
That's it.
You know what I
You
mean?
can tell
Like,
that. Slipknot and maybe El Diablo. You're
Yeah.
like, but you have to have a squad. You can't have 4 people in that. You've got to have a group. Some people that are
Maybe even an
expendable.
But what was really encouraging to me is like this is someone that really didn't like BVS.
Okay.
Hasn't seen the Ultimate Cut yet, and I was talking to him about how much
Okay.
more I
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah.
Ultimate Cut, but didn't like it. He was much more engaged in the story from the get-go. And then I think we got the right idea about Batman. Like, don't expect it to be Batman's story. It's
No,
like just the
no.
specter in the background. Don't expect
and we
more
don't
than
want that. We want him to just show up
Yeah.
and surprise people
Yeah.
and just scare the crap out of us and be like,
Did
bam.
he say anything about how much Batman's actually in it, though? Or if it's just
Not a lot. I
Okay.
mean, yeah, it's not a lot.
What did he say about fun? Like, because I know people said we injected more fun into it. Now, he's seen the final version, right?
Yeah. This was a recent version.
What did he say about...
I mean, I didn't ask him specifically about the tone, but
Okay.
I mean, that was just in the fact that he was enjoying. He was just like, I think once it all gets started, it's like it's a great action film. I asked him if it looked very much like the Zack Snyder film, or it did look more David Ayer, and he said it looks like it exists in that world,
Okay.
but it doesn't have that heaviness. You know, it doesn't.
Okay.
It's not to be confused with the Zack Snyder film, but it also very much takes place in the world after
That's
BVS.
great.
Any Croc mention?
Yes, underused.
Damn
That was the one I was
That's
referring to. Unfortunately, I was gonna be bold with that, but yeah.
Sorry.
So it wasn't bad about Croc. It was just like, all right, this guy's there, but he's
Wait,
not.
sorry.
you know,
When did it takes place after
BVS?
the entirety of the film, or did he say anything about flashbacks?
No, we didn't talk about flashbacks, but I think flashbacks have been revealed. Like, I think that's when you're going to see
Yeah.
Batman. I don't
Right.
know that you're going to see Batman in the present. I don't know that you're not, but it was, he couldn't say enough good things about Margot Robbie and Leto.
I love the fact that it feels like part of the universe. Because that was my fear. Like, it's going to be, is it going to feel like a shoehorn film?
I forgot one other thing that I particularly can't wait to put to you.
Oh, boy.
This one I can't wait. Oh, Mikey Christmas, get ready to eat Christmas, baby. He said he's never before liked Jai Courtney in a film until this movie.
How do I don't know how to take that, because...
Just because Captain Boomerang's gonna be freaking awesome.
No.
You've been all about the Jai Courtney and the bandwagon fans.
Speaking of Captain Boomerang, shout out to Ricky Middlesworth.
Oh, he
won.
did!
He
Yeah.
won.
He
the
won!
contest.
He
Yes.
won. I
He
saw
won!
Yeah.
For heroin chic Captain Boomerang.
Thank you guys for helping me out.
Friend of the
whoever
show,
did.
Ricky Middlesworth.
Hey!
And he said it was thanks to us and thanks to all of you who voted for him. It really put him over the top. So he's.
I was in a
going.
movie last night when I saw, I was like, this thing popped up, and I was like, ah!
So he's
That's-
going
that's
all
fantastic.
4 days.
This is so good because the reason why this is so good is because did we put the tracking in the story yet, or are we going to talk about the tracking? Can we mention how Suicide Squad is tracking just as a?
Oh, go for it. 125 mil. Apparently opening weekend. They're saying.
Here's the thing with tracking.
Domestically.
Here's the thing that I always say with tracking is that great, tracking is one thing, but buzz is the thing that either pushes it up,
Yep.
or quelches it.
Case in point with BVS.
I think
Correct.
that the buzz is going to be good. I think that they're going to do the Comic-Con screening, which is going to just up and up the buzz. So I think that 125, 135 is going to be hit.
Yeah.
And I think that from what I heard about this film, it's not so much inside baseball that mass audiences are not going to know what's going on. I think they're going to like it. And I think it's gonna serve
It
that
just
thing.
seems like we are in a great place, like, for a film like this. People want to go and have fun at these movies.
There's been a lull in the summer.
Yes.
The summer has lulled, and like part of there was all that congestion of superhero films in the beginning of the summer,
Yeah.
and now it's in a lull. I'm
And-
hearing great things about Star Trek, which
Like,
is a great thing. Star Trek.
Ghostbusters is like, people are saying it's all right.
I know
A few
someone who
friends
saw
it.
Star Trek,
They
they're
said it was
saying is
decent.
fantastic.
Decent.
They saying Star Trek is better than the first two.
Star Trek is going to save the film. Yeah, I know people
But
who saw
there's
it too.
been no word of mouth on this film.
Yeah.
I just talked to someone the other day, and he's like, "Oh, I forgot that's coming out."
Yeah,
Where
Media
Suicide
Shock, you're
Squad,
right in there.
Suicide Squad, it's topping Rogue One. All these social media, it's
Which
it's
I
the
was
top of them.
hesitant to give any credence to it because why
Rogue
should
One is so far away.
so far away?
But it's Star Wars. Force
True.
Awakens dominated for
You're right.
forever.
You're absolutely
it's
right.
a Star Wars film.
But
I think if they were coming out the same week, though.
Because it's not saying it's doing better than Doctor Strange. Because
Yeah.
Doctor Strange is still kind of that off,
I'm telling you,
character, but
if
Star
this
Wars
film,
is Star Wars.
If Suicide Squad starts to get this good buzz,
We're a month out still.
that number could be low because people are going to want it. It's a great audience for
perfect-
high school age, for college
perfect
age.
weekend to come out.
really
Perfect.
is.
My
weekend.
mom wants to
I
see
feel
it.
it sucks because Star Trek's coming out during Comic-Con. That was one of the worst weekends to release
But
your
aren't
film.
they doing a big screening of that one too?
Yeah, but no one. You're
Is
in
it
the middle
that
of
Friday it
Comic-Con.
comes out?
It's in the middle of it comes out Friday, but you're in the middle of Comic-Con. It's like
There's not that
all
many
the
people.
geek buzz that's online is about Comic-Con this week and
Yeah,
next week.
yeah.
And also,
you
don't
want it to
forget
be about
too,
your film.
Don't forget too, the commercials for Suicide Squad have really catered themselves to a mass audience. You know, you throw in well-known songs like Ballroom Blitz. It just looks like a really fun movie to where like, oh, I don't even have to know anything about these people. I think I'm gonna like this.
And what about the thing with Margot Robbie and
The promo she did, right? Where she was being interviewed by someone.
with one of the Patriots?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm blanking.
Wait, who did she get? Who was she interviewing?
God.
with?
She interviewed
Terrell,
herself
tell me.
as Harley Quinn, right?
What? Who was it?
It was on Instagram.
Patriots, like my team? Like
Yes.
Edelman, Amendola, Brady.
What?
One more.
Dylan-
Gronk.
Talking sports.
Gronk.
Gronk.
Who?
All right, Gronkowski.
Oh,
it was
I
Margot
thought it was
Robbie
superhero.
in her actual accent talking about Suicide Squad. Gronk was playing like her therapist.
Are you
so it was
kidding
kind of a
me?
twist. But Gronk, not
I
an
can't
actor.
believe I didn't even catch
He's definitely not an actor, Gronk. But yeah.
Zach, will you try to pull this up
Sports.
if you can? Rob Gronkowski and
So yeah,
Harley
it's
Quinn.
Margot Robbie,
Robbie.
and she's talking about Suicide Squad movie, and it's like they're bad
There it is.
guys and all this kind of stuff. It
Oh
was
yeah,
pretty funny.
actually
was
here
Gronk.
it is. It's a 5-minute.
Yeah, I just want to see a little bit of it just to see what it looks
Oh,
like.
little taste.
Yeah, just want a little taste.
little
Because, like,
season.
I love Rob more than anything. I can't believe he wasn't the first
She
name
is
that came
so
out of my mouth.
stupidly beautiful.
Yeah.
It's really
Any of you
obnoxious.
guys,
It's not fair.
do you see Tarzan?
I know, I heard it was
I wanna-
awful.
I-
I want to see BFG
People
though.
set
You
it
wanna
up
go?
in just
I heard
one
that's
minute,
awful.
Okay, well, yeah, if you
I
can
heard
get
that
that
was
going,
really
that's
good.
going.
And
Actually,
Gronk,
Gronk's a
baby.
nice.
Oh,
Gronk's a
big
nice
friendly
guy
giant.
though too.
Geoff and John.
Oh, is he? Yeah, I'm
A
sure.
buddy of mine is working on his show for Nickelodeon, and he's a cool guy.
I have 3 friends who have had sex with him.
Whoa!
Shut your
Margot
mouth.
Robbie?
No, with Rob Gronkowski.
You're
Is
lying.
that not who we were talking about?
No, we sure are. We sure are. You're
Yeah.
kidding me.
No, I'm dead
Trace.
serious.
Are your
I have
friends
three
like-
friends.
Allegedly.
In all fairness, I'm from
Allegedly.
Boston.
To protect the Popcorn Network
Oh yeah, sorry.
and Maria Menounos, allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly.
I will
Well,
say.
This is
And I'm not
dirty.
alleging that Maria Menounos is on that list. I'm just saying to protect
Yeah.
all parties. That is an alleged thing that Roxy Striar said.
Allegedly, I was
And by
never
the way,
ever there at the party.
The
during
opinions
time.
of DC Movie News are
Do not
just that of them.
go off
They
this
do not
one's
necessarily
mouth.
reflect the management of AfterBuzz or Popcorn Talk
Well,
Network.
look, I'm sure Rob is nice. I'm sure he gives him a gift basket, just like Derek Jeter did on
I
his career.
will say that none of them took a frickin' Snapchat of him afterwards. You saw the girl that did that.
Yeah,
Of
that
who? We're
was.
in bed.
Rob, they were this girl and Rob
Oh,
were having
hey, here we
sex.
go.
And
I have
that
2
took a
friends. I
snap.
actually have 2 friends that.
Hey.
Sorry.
bothering you?
The movie's coming out in a few weeks, and everyone's just talking about how it's a squad full of bad guys.
Oh my god.
But there's more to it than that, you know? For starters,
I love her.
Wow.
they're actually really friendly. And we have a leader with tremendous accuracy.
Y'all jokers must be crazy.
She said leader.
Teammates who many would consider
Yeah.
unstoppable.
I love
mean,
her.
Absolute
Me too.
monsters.
Interesting.
Does the squad
Yeah.
bend the rules sometimes? Sure.
That was a little Harley right there.
What the hell's wrong with you people?
We're bad guys. But that's only because they want to win. And what's wrong with winning? Huh?
Was this officially released? Oh my
Daddy's
god.
little
Totally
monster.
get it.
Oh my
Haters
god.
give my squad a hard time too.
And the
You
glasses.
really get me, Rob.
Your squad, my squad, we can.
Oh my god, I want them to get married.
What's wrong with him? Why does he like that?
Why is he like what?
Is he?
Why
Did
is he like what?
did those glasses do something to his eyes? Or
No,
was
he
his
doesn't
eyes?
usually wear those.
I know, but are they like funny glasses that made his eyes like Snapchat filter big? Like
Do you notice
Yeah,
how he's
he's
wearing
he
the
looked
Daddy's
kinda-
Little
Yeah, they
Monster
magnified them.
t-shirt?
he looked a little weird.
I actually know 3 people that want to have sex with Margot Robbie, and they're all at this table.
Which one is
so
your
yeah,
favorite?
Four of us.
Maybe
Four of
four
us
of
at the
us.
table.
I'm all in on Margot.
Come on now. Anyways, where do we go from here?
Where are we going? Where do we go from here?
Well,
Why
in
did you mind? You have one
in
in
a
front of you.
flash, let's
This-
move
they're-
on to...
two different ones.
What are we doing?
Here.
Same stuff.
Your computer's
Our leader, lead us. Go.
In a flash, we're moving on to Iris West. So there's an article this week that talked about, how are we going to have her in the Flash film? Because the TV show kind of bypassed her story, if you will. The question is, what century is she going to be from? Because, Mike, you could speak to this. She was born in the 30th century and was transported back 1 millennium in time. But as far as the Flash TV show, they don't even address how she got to Central City. They kind of just bypass the whole thing.
She's also not supposed to be Barry Allen's. So
Yeah. Hold on. What are we looking at? Iris West. Yeah.
What do you mean she's not supposed to be Barry Allen?
she's not supposed to be Barry Allen's. That's what they've done in this TV show, but that's not who she always ends up with. And,
Right.
And
It's always been Iris and
find-
Barry.
Yeah, it's Arius and Barry. Yeah.
No, I thought in New 52 that's not what was happening anymore. Didn't they change it up for that?
I don't go off New 52 anymore. That's garbage to me.
I thought that was the whole thing. In
so
that.
are we talking like Clark,
maybe they-
Clark and Lois, Bruce and Selena, like the two, Hal and Carol, like Barry and Iris are always a couple. It's
But-
they're a
Okay.
couple.
I don't know
No,
because
it's
I think
goes okay. Continue. I want to help you with this.
no, that's good. Thank you.
This is
but
what Mike Kalinowski, host of Character Corner on the Popcorn Talk Network, is
I
here
thought
for.
that in New 52 people were upset because they were going with a different storyline,
Yeah, New 52
and that people were pissed that Wally and Iris, what
Yeah,
was going on there. But now we do have a Wally, but there's not going to be Wally in the
Right.
movies. So I was surprised that she was going to be there at all.
Yeah, it's
But I could be wrong. I didn't read the New 52 version.
And I did not read much of Flash New 52 because it was stuff like this.
But just to get to the track, the point of Iris's history being more in the fact that she comes from the 30th century.
Right.
The article was suggesting that is a way to separate her from the Iris of the TV series where they don't deal with that.
Right.
And then, I guess the question was, is that a good idea? How do you cast a character, make her a part of this universe, and make her not so much like Lois Lane, which she was in her origin, plucky reporter, getting saved a lot by the hero.
See, that's where it's troubling because Linda Park was the reporter.
Okay.
And that's Wally West's
exactly what I was
girlfriend.
just thinking of when they tried to get them together.
Linda Park, Wally West.
Right.
Barry Iris.
Right,
Those are when we're talking of you want to ship someone together, Lois and Clark are always together, Barry and Iris are always together, Dinah and Oliver.
Right.
Or Laura, I'm sorry.
Right. Peter
That's what
Parker
people
9
were
is
so
pointing
pissed
out
about.
that Wally is often with Linda. But again, so just to get to the idea of what we're going to do in the film, I mean, personally, I think this could be a great angle because we've already introduced time travel to this Flash.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong,
But how long
the
are you going to
lead,
spend on that?
the girl that is the lead that is up for this is African American. Am I correct?
Rita Ora
Now that
is
to
rumored.
me,
Rita Ora?
That's what the rumor is in this article. I don't know who she
that
is.
to
She's
She's
got
a musician.
6 million Twitter followers.
She's a singer.
There you go.
that
know
to
her
me is
music.
the problem because
Too much like the TV show?
yes, separate. If you
I
want
thought
to
it was the
separate
girl
your
from
group-
Dope who's the
There's
lead.
three of them that are up
Okay.
and they're all, I think, 2 African American and 1 is American.
Hey, I watched Dope finally. It was
But
good.
And Rita Ora's from
if you want to separate from your
England.
TV show, why would you cast
Well,
that?
she
To
could
me
be
is the
complete.
weird one.
I don't necessarily agree with that because she could be completely different.
Of course, I get that, and it's,
she could have different characteristics to her too. But I don't know. I think that when we get into a side character, not that she's a side character, but all the backstory there, we really want to spend time going down that road.
Maybe in a
explaining how
solo
she got
film.
there.
Maybe in a solo
That's
film.
'cause that's who
Certainly
they're
not in
casting her
Justice
for.
League.
So we wouldn't meet her
Are they
before.
casting her for Justice League, or is she in Justice League, or in the Flash?
well, I
solo
think
movie?
these people, when they're cast, they're going to be in
How-
our films.
how
They're
are we
the
gonna see-
Iris for every film?
If we've got Lois there all the time, how are we going to see Barry involved and never meet Iris if she's involved in his life, or does he
I don't
not
think
meet
we'll
her
get
until
Iris
we
in
get the
Justice
Flash?
League. I think this talk is for it is talk because the director of Flash is the guy who directed Dope, right?
Yes.
Right.
So that's why they're
Right.
looking at that girl from Dope, and that was that connection. So this is for the Flash film, not for Justice
the
League.
point is, I just think it could potentially be an interesting angle. Flash's girlfriend coming from the future. It's
it's
just
his
something
girlfriend.
different.
You need her in there.
As
Yeah.
opposed to a Wonder Woman coming from the past.
Right.
Yeah. There you go. But she doesn't come from the past. She
Well,
lives
she-
through it.
she-
She's just
she-
old.
she did
That's
not
like saying
tell
that
him
you come from
The past.
1999, which is when you were born.
Are you
But
reading Rebirth
I
Flash?
do come.
That's so
I
good.
am.
Oh
I
my
read the
God,
first
so
two.
good.
I read Rebirth
Just
Flash
read
1.
Rebirth,
and
guys.
So what's
and
going on in that? Do you think
one-
they'll pull from it for the
boy.
movies? Or?
Absolutely. That Geoff Johns is kind of the shepherd of it. You read these Rebirth comics and you see the cinematicness of the films. You see, like, Superman is like, he's the classic Superman again. Bruce is kind of like the older Batman again. It is becoming seamless with the films. Like, not that it follows the continuity, but you go to the movies and you go to the comic store and it's just the same thing. And that's smart.
Yeah, I mean, because listen, the movies are reaching a lot more people than the comics,
Yeah. Yes.
and there should be synergism between
And
them.
Marvel does the opposite. They put a young black lady as Iron Man, and
Well,
it's a
DC's
different
kind of
thing.
doing that too. We're going
Yeah.
to talk about in just a minute. First things first. Hell, I'll just say it now.
Let's go.
We actually have a Chinese Superman.
which was great. Kong,
Yeah,
his name?
Kong Kenan.
It's
Yeah.
great.
Who inherits some of Clark's
Same
powers.
same alliteration as Clark Kent.
One of 4 characters that are now taking up
yeah.
Superman's
Good catch.
mantle. So, more diversity. It's pretty cool.
I love that Superman. It just came out this week.
Did you read it?
Yeah.
And
It's
it was
great.
good?
I love it. I love.
Is it his origin,
We've
or is
talked
he
about
already?
this. It's kind of what I love about it. It's not shoehorning a different ethnicity or different sex into an existing character. It's creating its
Right.
own mythology around that character. Yes,
Yeah.
it's Superman technically, but it's just different. It's not like putting a Spanish Batman in there.
Can we take a, since we're already talking about this, can this be comic side hole? Can we just a little
We're going
comic
down a
side hole?
side hole?
Right?
Sure.
Little side rabbit hole?
Do it.
Okay,
Here's
and
the
then
issue.
I have a question for you guys too.
Here's the issue.
Yes.
With these characters that have been around so long, it's so difficult to come up with new, fresh story for them because
Right.
we've seen so many things done with them.
Yeah.
So that some of these new inventions are just potentially, they're new characters with potentially no backstory
Right.
and there's no investment. I just binged Irredeemable.
Oh, you read that. You said that. Yes, yes.
Irredeemable, and Incorruptible. Like in 2 days. I read 70 comics in 2 days. I got the...
What?
Yeah.
How did you do that?
I've never done this before.
How did you have time to do that?
Here's the thing. I've never poured through comics like this in years. Comicsology. I was in Tampa, visiting my girlfriend, so a lot of it was on an airplane. That's a good, that's the best time to read is when you're traveling. So I got the first couple on Comicsology. They're free. That's how they get you. And then for like $100, the entire series of Incorruptible and Irredeemable. Now, this is good because this was the kind of storytelling that we like, in that it has a beginning, middle, and end.
Okay.
Right? With characters that we're not attached to beforehand. Okay. So it's not all that middle story that all these regular characters have to be. And yet it's very much kind of like a Superman story. Okay. And it really ties that ribbon really nicely. So it's just to say that like a lot of these independent comics, and thank you for returning me on to Black Science too. That's going on now.
Oh, that's Greg, not Remander, right? His last name, not Greg. His first name, Remander. I think.
Yes.
It's a big, it's like a thick book that they've compiled it as, right?
Again,
I follow him on Twitter, and I think he's
Comicsology is how I've been doing that one too.
Yeah.
Love the Comicsology right now because I can read it in the dark, read it anywhere, and it's just great. So it's just really difficult to come up with new stuff for other heroes, which is why, to bring it back to what we're doing here, the movies are a great place to compile all this years of storytelling and tell some really nice, clean, linear stories that have a beginning, middle, and an end.
And not a place to bring up new things.
Well, I think it works.
No, not necessarily. I'm just saying, like, you can cherry pick from all the best because there's a lot of crap, too. Like, when you've had the same characters around for 60 years, there's a lot of junk and there's a lot of recycled stuff, so you can pick the best.
It's interesting because, like, I love Jaime Reyes. You have a Latino Blue Beetle, but we also have Ted Kord. But it worked well. And now with Duke coming in as, he's not Robin. Yeah. He's with Bruce Wayne, and they're making him into another character, so they're not shoehorning him like, well, here's just another Robin.
Right.
It's making his own character, and that's what I love.
Green Lanterns, it works well because that's the nature of the core.
Yes. I love Jessica Cruz. So we have a Latin Green Lantern. We have an African-American, or Simon Baz is he Arabic, I think? So it's a different ethnicity with him, too. So, and it works so well. But sometimes when you just change a gender or change a sex for no reason or ethnicity, it just seems fan service, and it doesn't hold the character because they always switch back.
Yes, Mark Waid wrote those. Thank you. I want to give props to Mark Waid, and I know I'm like 5-6 years behind on all that stuff, but it was just the best, most satisfying thing I read in so long.
While we're on the topic of new possibilities, Matt Damon said, "Ya boy, Roxy." Matt Damon said he would do a DC project. He said, if Ben was directing me, I'd jump on it in a New York minute, but until he's willing to give up the best role to one of his friends, we're not going to get on with it. So...
Wasn't it him that appeared? What was the movie that I was watching that he appeared in and nobody knew? It came out like 2 years ago.
Oh, he played like
Interstellar.
Interstellar.
Yeah.
Oh, and all of a sudden,
cameo in Interstellar.
Sorry.
Spoiler,
and all of a sudden he appeared.
That was a great reveal.
And nobody knew it was happening. How cool would that be if all of a sudden we're watching some Ben Affleck directed movie and just nobody knew that Matt was going to be it, and he just kind of casually is there?
Be super dope.
That would be amazing.
At first I thought this was ridiculous. Did you see who I tweeted that I wanted to say? I said Matt Hagen, Clayface.
Clayface? Everyone's saying
because he's an actor named Matt.
There it is.
I think heard it here first. I think he'd be a great Green Arrow.
Oh, he would be. And he would rock the beard.
Yeah.
He would definitely rock the beard.
And they would have great banter between the two of them.
That would be good. You're right.
Green Arrow.
I like Green Arrow even better than Matt Hagen Clayface.
And to see them, I think that'd be great.
So people were saying Hush, and that was the original tweet. Hush is a great one too.
Hush is and I know people love the idea of a Hush appearing in the movies, but Hush works to me because there's so much history of all the villains.
There's so much inside
Hush
baseball
would be great.
On.
Like if we get like we get with Marvel, we get 10 years of these fantastic films and can build to it. Hush 10 years from now, absolutely.
Look, this one's cool. Matt Damon should be Green Arrow. Fun fact: Damon was Nolan's choice to play Harvey Dent in TDK. From Parker Man.
Learn something new every day.
You do. Cool. One person that doesn't look like they're going to be leaving anytime soon is Mark Hamill. Of course, he claimed to retire 5 years ago from the Joker. But he was tweeted at this week saying, "Will you retire after the Killing Joke?" His response was, "No." And to piggyback off of that, Batman Return to Arkham is going to be held off again until at least November, they're saying now. A couple weeks ago, they didn't give a date. Yeah. Now they're saying maybe November, maybe later as far as that video game release.
Okay.
I don't care about the video game release.
I do.
Well,
but I want to get it. I want them to do it right.
But we've already played it.
Yeah, but I haven't played them in so long. I want to play it again.
I know.
It was going to be like...
You'll have to wait, Mikey. For Christmas. You'll have to wait until Christmas.
No!
It was
have to wait till Christmas, Mikey.
No, it was going to be Christmas in July for me because it was going to get Comic-Con, Killing Joke, the new video game, Suicide Squad, is going to be like 4 weeks of release stuff for me. And now I have a break in there. Why was that millennial of me? Because I wanted it and I want it now?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's exactly why.
But listen, but what you did say is like, look how great July is. Like we have Comic-Con next week.
Yeah.
We won't be here, right? No show, I'm assuming.
No.
Probably for us.
Gone.
We'll be gone.
Yeah.
And then after that weekend,
Or maybe we'll
what
try
is
to
it,
do
that
something
Monday?
live from there again. Remember last week?
That Monday is the Killing Joke
Killing
premiere.
Joke, which I think Fathom added like 300 more showings or
tons
something.
of them.
Which is
My
great.
friends that are going to
See?
Comic-Con, they want to try and see it the Friday night premiere. I'm just kind of like,
That's going to be Killing Joke is on theaters what Monday.
Okay, somebody's
July
telling me to
July
read
25th.
Superman Birthright right by Wade.
That's a great
And
one.
that's where Jesse Lex is from.
yes, it is.
Do you agree with that?
When people say, oh, Jesse Eisenberg doesn't look anything like Lex, and they'll put up that picture of him from Birthright. It's the red shaggy
Right.
hair, the kind of coat. It's Jesse Eisenberg's
pledge
Lex.
this to you all.
Birthright.
Because now I'm so on comics fire right now. I read that Cavalier and Clay thing, which was amazing.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
whoever said it's not about Schuster and Siegel, but it's about all that
Yeah.
stuff. Then I read the untold history of Marvel Comics, which is amazing. And when I say read, I mean audible of it. It's like the whole history going back to like the 40s.
Excelsior with me.
It's all that. It's about the bad blood between Kirby and this, but it involves a lot of DC stuff because it's
You
the
cannot.
history. So then it led to all this. So I will definitely read this Wade. And now that I love
Birthright.
Wade, I'm totally gonna read. So
And
it's
they,
awesome.
They took a lot of hints from Man of Steel from the Birthright comic. Yeah. With kind of Clark Kent traveling the world, finding himself. Birthright is great.
You know what else is great? Our next segment that I think it's time for.
It's time for Roxy Stratus TV time. How
could it be?
There we go.
But it's a movie show.
And I have another movie question for you guys.
DC movie.
We're in TV
Well, it's your
time.
birthday. Want to get to TV time. Want to get to TV time.
We could go back in time real quick. Go with your
what was your
question.
Well, because I watched the Ultimate Cut, and you guys weren't
did?
here last
Okay.
week, and this has
that's
nothing.
right.
This has nothing to do with the actual Ultimate Cut, but it was something that I was reminded of when I was rewatching it. What is the whole deal with the Lois is key? Lois is the key thing. I don't understand.
Well,
we don't know.
Yeah,
we
but
don't know.
I haven't stopped
Is
thinking
it-
about
okay,
what it could
We talked
mean.
a little bit. Is it she's the key to bringing Superman back to life?
Yeah.
Is she the one that brings him back?
Oh, and that's when he's coming back from?
We don't know.
I haven't stopped thinking about it because I
No
don't
one
understand.
is-
She seems like the key to nothing. She seems like she is the
To
key
me,
to nothing.
it's their love. You are my. This is my world. You are my world.
You
Like,
took her
it's
from
that.
me. You don't know if it's a
took
good
her
thing or a
from
bad
me.
thing.
All right, we can
Hopefully
move.
it's
Yes.
good.
We
All
can
right.
move to TV time.
Let's
but
go to TV
that's
time.
the
Because
first
I might
thing.
have to bail out.
We got a glimpse of a couple people this week. Kid Flash,
This was
primarily.
really cool.
Hello.
This is
Man.
exciting.
I was very surprised that they released this early.
I think he looks
Maybe
fantastic.
they didn't have a choice. Yeah, he looks amazing, but, I was
seeing
shocked.
the look of him, Gustin needs to buff it up a little bit. This guy makes him look like a little shrimp.
Yeah, kinda.
I don't know if the suit's got some padding in it or what, but he looks fantastic.
Yeah, I think he looks amazing. I always thought he would look amazing as well.
Someone did a nice little Photoshop. They put him, John Wesley Shipp as Jay Garrick, and then Grant Gustin as Flash together, and it looked pretty awesome.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty awesome.
It's cool. I love that they're going with the
I think I saw
Wally
that.
West headpiece.
Yeah.
You know, with the half cut off head, but it really does look like they just took Grant Gustin's pants and Eobard Thorne's top and then just cut off the headpiece.
Hey,
like,
they
was
got a
it-
budget.
But
They got to
is
work in their
this-
budget.
Sure.
You know?
Is this something
looks
that they're
cool.
introducing during Flashpoint? When are we going to see this?
Because he's not a
When is-
speedster,
No,
right? He's kind of got the hints of it.
I mean, as of right now, he's not at
Right.
all.
But in
so-
Flashpoint,
Yeah, we
have a different world where this guy maybe
Right.
grew up with Iris West and
Yeah.
in that house and that family, and then he was the place
They
where
have
he got hit with
established
the
that they
lightning.
can do whatever they want because of this, the time stuff that they use. So
Right.
And
Yeah.
we had multiple news items from The Flash this week. This actually just dropped today. It was found out that Todd Lasance, I don't know if I'm saying it right, Todd Lasance, I don't know. He's joining Flash Season 3 as this guy who...
Snapper Car.
No, not Snapper Car.
Oh, we're not on him yet.
No, we're not him yet. No, I sent the couple photos late, last email, so if you can grab those. The dude who was in the who looks like a reverse Kid Flash.
Oh, it's the Black Racer Flash.
Yes.
outfit. There it is.
There you go.
So there's talk that
There you go.
that's when the Flash merges with Death in Justice League Darkseid War, he becomes Death.
Okay.
So that's what they're thinking. I don't think it's that. I think it's just kind of they're using it.
This is what Hit Screen said. It's playing an unknown speedster. That's all that
It
they've
just seems
released.
like there's so many speedsters, and
I
it's just like
know.
so every
I
villain
know.
season is a big speedster.
And it
It's
depends
just
on what
like,
they're doing with Jesse Quick also.
I know. I'm kind of like, it's great costume. That the costume designer on that team and their fabrication is fantastic.
When did
It's
they
great.
start filming The Flash season
They're filming
3?
right now.
No, when did they start?
about a week or two ago.
So they're probably very...
They all did first episodes because all the actors tweeted like the first script.
All right, so they're very early on. All this stuff is taking place super
This is all early on.
Wow, that's so weird to me. I don't know how we're going to come back to all of this. How much time has
That'll
passed?
be a Comic-Con reveal.
So many speedsters. Yeah.
So many speedsters.
That's my only fear. Is like I hope they can keep the storytelling fresh. This was what I've always said. This is the fear of like that long ass season. Like 20, think about that. In 3 years, you've got 65 episodes. You don't even have that many comic books. All right.
That's
it's a lot.
Remember when I told you that I heard that they were supposed to be cutting it down to 16, which doesn't look like they've announced, and it looks like they're supposed to be doing their 22 episodes. But that's what I heard.
Much.
Yeah.
I was hoping it was going to be CW shows have done that.
I wanted Grodd Gorilla City back.
I hear we have 3 episodes in Gorilla City during season 3.
That's fantastic.
Something like that.
I'll be excited.
They announced that last year.
Are we talking? Well, we also have a new character coming to Supergirl. Go for it, Mikey.
Which one are we going Snapper Car or Maggie Sawyer?
Snapper Car?
Snapper Car. I don't know about the casting of this. Doesn't look anything like the comic to me. He was always kind of like Snapper Car's the mascot of the Justice League. He's always the guy there. He's kind of like the Rick Jones of the Avengers.
He looks a lot like Peter Parker, but
he was the cool guy that always wanted to fit in, and now he's kind of like the guy from Cougar Town.
What about age-wise?
He's much older, this actor.
Yeah.
Much older.
And you think he's going to talk?
So why do you think they're doing that?
I think he's the boss of her. He's her boss at wherever she works.
He's playing a data-driven journalist.
Because apparently Calista Flockhart is not officially coming back yet. Have you guys heard this?
Yeah, because she didn't want to move to Canada.
To Vancouver. I think this character is a transitional character.
Is that official? Because you remember when we talked about this move, I called that based on budget, not that though.
I'm pretty sure she's going to be
I said because I got to think she was probably the most expensive.
But she's also the draw of that show for our people. We love Supergirl, but Calista Flockhart brings a different audience to that show.
She's not the draw for CW.
True.
Yeah.
But neither is this guy.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that.
You think she is?
Well, I think I'm CW material to a T.
You are.
And Ally McBeal was like a major...
So you say because you grew up with it, now you're watching this,
Definitely.
Okay.
Listen, I'm not saying she's not a draw. All I'm saying is if you have to reduce the budget of the show and you're moving it to CW, that's a limb that you can cut off. And then you put Superman on the show, and then you bring everybody back.
But to that point, the 4 of us at this table keep talking about reducing the budget, and CW has come out and said they're not reducing the budget.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
And... I'm sorry.
No, that was it.
Vancouver, you get a lot more bang for your buck dollar-wise. That's why they went there in the first place.
Way cheaper to film.
Yeah. So they're saving
money. Would you move there?
Hell yeah.
There have been times where I thought, before I moved to Los Angeles, I was thinking about it, moving to Vancouver. It's about $10,000 to become a Canadian citizen through just paying the legal fees, and that's what it would have been. I had it, and I thought about it.
10,000 Canadian dollars or American dollars?
American at the time. My friend said, hey, you got to find this kind of lawyer, immigration lawyer, $10,000. Because they're very good. They protect their people there, the Canadians, to work. Like, Americans were like, we'll hire you. Game of Thrones, all you English actors, sure, we'll hire you. Yeah. Our unions are terrible for protecting American working actors. Australian, sure, but every other, Australia, England, Canada, they're like, oh, you're American? Like, up there for Canada, for their stunt team, for stunt people, your stunt coordinator can hire an American stuntman, but for every one American stuntman he has to hire 2 Canadian stuntmen.
Wasn't one of the new hires for Supergirl the editor of Cat Grant's Catgo magazine?
One of the characters?
Yeah. I just heard there was a hire for the editor-in-chief of Catgo magazine.
They just casted Maggie Sawyer.
She's the head of the SEU.
Yeah.
Like their science police.
Okay,
She's an openly gay character.
We might not have the item, but there is a character that was just cast as the head of Catco magazine. So I'm wondering if they might.
Reading that.
Right.
Yeah.
So I wonder if they might be shifting the focus.
But I thought it's
from Cat Grant specifically to this magazine to this paper.
I thought Snapper Carr was going to be kind of that boss character.
Oh, it might be. Okay.
I think the character came up, and I think this is that void.
Okay.
I think that's what it is.
Could be.
Yeah.
John Barrowman's now going to be a regular on all DC shows. How do you think about that, Rox?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think that he is one of the most grounded, talented. Love him. You don't feel the same way?
I don't know. I do not believe him in the role.
Oh, I completely believe him.
I think every time it cuts away, I see the stuntman.
Yeah.
Completely like... And
No.
that could be, that's not a fault for him. And I also, and
I
again, this
felt
speaks
that
to
way
me.
for a while, but he totally has convinced me at this point, and I think that he is such a people pleaser in terms of cons and whatnot too. He's so funny, he's so
Okay,
wonderful.
and I speak to that.
I think it was the material on Arrow too, and I think
I think he got burned.
But what you said, I've seen him at Comic-Con in front of people, and I see him walking through the hotel lobby and how he treats people that way.
I've never seen him walking through a hotel lobby.
Good.
And I have friends, because he's a gay gentleman.
Yeah.
I have friends that he has propositioned.
Okay.
He's not a good person.
Allegedly, again,
Allegedly.
The views and opinions of the hosts of DC Movie News
his public persona
are
is
not
different from his
necessarily those of Maria Menounos and Popcorn Talk.
We talk. I am not a fan of actors that are different to their public and fans than they are in their personal life. I'm not a fan of that.
I'm with you.
I want you to be...
Well, I don't know him that way.
Right, and that's okay. He's allowed to have
Jack.
a private life and be completely different the minute he's not in front of people. And that's actors. You're allowed. But
Views expressed
for me
here are those
personally,
of the hosts only and do not necessarily use the Popcorn Talk Network or its owners
What
or
I
principals.
would be concerned
Bottom
about
line
is
yeah.
where would his place be elsewhere?
Okay, here's where. Okay, so he's going across all the shows, and I was gonna say the reason I like this is because the Legends of Tomorrow Gumbo Pot Milkshake offered up.
that's a
Okay,
good one.
so we don't see how he's gonna be coming out, and I think he's gonna be used. I didn't mean coming out. That's again. My opinions are not necessarily those of my own.
Or
Okay.
wordplay.
So I think it's just very interesting how you can use this character. I don't think he's going to be Ra's al Ghul. I thought that was a little silly, making like Ra's al Ghul a mantle that like gets nominated every 4 years, like the office of president. That's stupid. But to use him on like Legends, it's very cool, and it also again brings it to that whole Doctor Who thing. It brings him back to that universe with our.
I liked him better first season Arrow, where he was just kind of like the.
Yeah, but we can't keep him there with his daughter.
I know.
Always
I just liked him as that manipulating businessman. But when they made him an action guy, it just did not.
Johnny, do we
read
have
for
something
me.
else too?
We sure do. We have the Superman, Tyler Hoechlin, talked about playing Superman, and he said, "It's humbling and flattering to even be given a chance to do it. I want to bring the true spirit of the character to the show."
Yeah, good. Nothing we didn't know.
Here's the thing about this. Where's that? Did you show that fan art you had about the dark Superman looking thing with the laser eyes? So I get, is that the actor?
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. But is that art from, I'm assuming, Teen Wolf?
It's just artwork of what he might look like on Supergirl.
But it's just funny because this is clearly our BVS style Zack Snyder as Superman. We're gonna get more of your classic,
I think so,
TV style Superman with a little tongue in cheek. I'm excited about this.
This is way too dark.
And mark my words, as soon as this guy premieres, you're gonna be hearing all the fanboys saying like, "This should be the Superman in the movies," like because it's gonna be that flavor that we all love. So I'm excited about. We have to start rapping though. I think.
Yeah.
We sure do. Well, someone had a birthday yesterday, and unfortunately,
That's right.
Oh my God.
It's not a big cake with candles, but we did get you some yummy cupcakes.
I love cupcakes.
Wait.
And I think
we
on
also
top of
got
that,
you something
Oh
here.
my God.
I also.
And Roxy loves sausage too.
I love
This
sausage
is
and cupcakes.
Very new item. This is my new turkey dog. Skinless turkey dog available at Doghouse restaurants right now.
You're now doing the turkey dogs.
What's that?
You're now doing them.
Yes, the turkey dogs are
They're
now
your
official.
recipe
So
now.
remember you had that old recipe they
Right.
tried once I didn't like? This is the one that does not suck. These are good.
Skinless turkey dogs.
Yes.
Delicious.
So there's no casing, so they're 100%
Delicious.
poultry.
Thank you guys.
And these look
I really
so
appreciate
good
it.
right
Those look
here,
amazingly
too. Look
good.
at
Roxy, we love
delicious.
you.
I
You
love
can
you
finally go to
guys.
strip clubs legally. Congratulations.
Hey, why are you eating it like that?
Oh,
I like
God,
it.
he
Chocolate's
just-
my favorite.
about?
He's so mean.
He just
Wow.
He just
my
Captain
cupcake.
Boomerang that cupcake,
I don't know
man.
what you're talking
That's
about.
Captain Boomerang right there.
Oh
are we
my
looking?
God.
A-hole Boomerang.
He ate my cupcake.
Jesus.
I just had a bite.
Why don't you put yourself over again?
Okay,
Go
guys.
for it, Adam.
All right. Hey, everybody. I'm Adam Gertler. I host FX Movie Download. This Friday, we're showing Thor: The Dark World. And you'll see we did a little commercial for the Gillette Hydro Razor, and I get shaved. And Thor: Dark World's not a bad watch on a second time. At Comic-Con next Thursday, look for DoorDash people on pedicabs. Thank you.
It's all over him.
Giving away Doghouse sausages, and you could potentially get invited to the screening of Sausage Party that's going to be happening on Thursday.
How do I get invited?
I don't know. I'll figure it out. And then there's an after party, and I'm going to be there, and I'm going to be making Sausage Party, and some of the cast is going to be coming by. Seth Rogen, I believe. So hopefully you can get yourself into that after party. And then also the DoorDash people will be going around between, I believe, 6 and 8 on Friday, giving away the Naughty Dog from Doghouse as well.
There we go. Mike Kalinowski.
Hey guys, at Mike Kalinowski. Check out, we got Character Corner. Huge Suicide Squad thing getting ready to drop soon. We're still working on it, doing all 11 characters in that thing.
I need to watch.
So it's going to be huge.
That's right.
some of the origins of these characters that I remember and rereading them and finding again are ridiculous. Ridiculous. Captain Boomerang's origin, ridiculous, but awesome.
In what book?
His original one. I don't want to tell you.
Oh, there's a Captain Boomerang.
You gotta watch it.
No, his original, like back in the 60s.
Oh, you're
when he
saying
was
on the
into-
character corner
Yes.
one. Oh, great.
Oh, my
awesome.
God,
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
ridiculous. But it's going to be awesome.
No,
We'll be dropping that before the film within the next week or two. So
there we go.
Great, check it out.
And birthday girl.
Guys, I'm Roxy Striar. You can find me everywhere at Roxy Striar. By the way, I do the Preacher after show at Afterwards TV, so we didn't get to talk about it this week, but Preacher is really kicking ass the last 2 episodes, I think.
Enjoying it.
So make sure you check out that after show. I'm also over on Screen Junkies at TV Fights. You can watch us on Tuesday at 4 p.m. as Adam takes my sausages away from me.
I'm putting it in a cooler for you.
Are you stealing them, or are you going to shove them all in your mouth?
This cooler is for you. I would not make you put my meat in your mouth, okay? I would put my... So,
You
what
make
else
a
were you
Joker
saying?
smile of chocolate.
Did you
on your
have
face.
things? The opinions of Adam Gertler reflect not those of Johnny.
Nor is the cupcake.
What do you got to say?
I'm
you
at
have sex
Jay
with Rob
Loquasto.
Gronkowski?
The Wrestling Compadres Slamcast is crushing it with Fox Sports. So please check us out at Fox Compadres. And the next big charity show for the Regular Hero Foundation, Thursday night, July 28th at the Comedy Store. And we're doing a blood drive the 29th and the 30th. So if you're anywhere near Los Angeles, please come out, help some kids, donate some blood. Come see a comedy show.
He's such
It's
a
really
bad
important.
guy all the time. He's never doing
Yeah.
good things for the people.
Terrible guy.
Yeah.
Sausage Party comes out August 12th.
Happy birthday, Roxy Striar. We
Thanks,
love you guys.
guys.
See you next
Love
week.
you guys.
Bye.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, Kristian Harloff, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of its owners or principals.
We shall try to find the answers together.